All right, let's go to Bret Baier, Fox News chief political anchor and the anchor and executive editor of Special Report. He's also the author of the new book, The Case for America, an argument on behalf of our nation. Bret, happy 4th of July, happy America 250. You heard us talking to Peter there he's literally getting buzzed by a Navy F-35C. What do you make of this air show? It's just incredible.
It's amazing. I heard some of it with Peter because the F-35 literally dipped right here in front of us, and that overturn, like upside down, right past the Washington Monument. It's fascinating. All day long, there are people up there just pulling to the side of the road before they get in here, just looking up at these flyovers. It's really spectacular. And if you think about America 250 and how much it means on a lot of different levels, we're going to be talking about it throughout the night. And I know you guys have, about this country, what it means. That's impressive. That is impressive.
Okay.
And really, it's not just the military, it's every piece of our country. I want to say one thing about the U.S. Secret Service. This is a massive, massive event to lock down, to make secure, and to make sure everybody is safe. They were worried about weather and thunderstorms, so that's why they held everybody at the mags, and they're just starting to come in. But I just saw, lines and lines, thousands of people lined up. Secret Service TSA handling this, and the drive-by again. The director gave me this sweat towel, Secret Service sweat towel. They are working hard, and said that they are making sure everything's safe and logistically a-okay. And I can tell you that it's moving quickly now.
Bret, first of all, let me congratulate you on your book, Case for America. I think it's more important than ever. Last night's speech, you were there. Remarkable. I think it's one of perhaps the best speeches that the president has given because it's so timely. We are having an identity crisis. And I guess I would love to hear your reflections on what he laid out. You can't be an American and you can't be for America and her principles and founding and also say you're a communist. He talked about the beauty of our country, and he talked about our culture, that we have an American culture and it matters and it's worth preserving.
Yeah, I thought the speech was really right on for the moment.
Yes.
And it was interesting that the president, it seemed like he held to the remarks. He didn't kind of go off a lot. And the crowd there was really receptive to it. It's an important moment for the country. We obviously are very partisan. We're a divided country. But America 250 provides a chance for a shared love of the country. And there's all this talk about this is a Trump event and all this stuff back and forth. But if you think about it, 250 years is really an accomplishment. And we as a country, no matter what party you're in, are resilient. We've been through a lot. We've been through really dark times in our country. And I think looking broader, it's a moment to reflect back.
You're doing a remarkable job of staying on point with all of that going on just a feet over your head. But it is remarkable. We're a country that was born in revolution. And if you walk down from the Capitol down to the Washington Monument to the Lincoln Memorial and across Memorial Bridge up to Arlington House, so much of our mall is defined by the wars that we've fought and the wars that we've won. And it is kind of fitting, although when President Trump first started talking about this, the left goes bonkers. And as you just mentioned a minute ago, they want to claim that this is a Trump event. No, it's not a Trump event. And they hate that Trump is featuring our military hardware that, by the way, we're paying for. So thank you very much. We'd like to see it. It does seem like a losing proposition for the left. Trump seems to be winning on this particular argument about the importance of showing off our military prowess.
It's really important to just reflect, and remember, Charlie, to all of your point, this is an anniversary of the Declaration. Hold on one second. Anniversary of he's right here. He's doing a turnover right here next to me.
It's for you, Bret.
Yeah,
you
right.
said
Maybe he's
Declaration of
waving. It's like
Independence,
a little
and he just
wave.
cranked the jets up.
Yeah.
We had a Harrier jet outside where we are set up here just a little bit, and it was just sitting there hovering, and that was impressive too. What I was going to say is, to your point, this is the Declaration of Independence, and think about 250 years ago, those men who stood up, what it meant, how courageous it was to do in the face of Great Britain, to say we want to break away, we want to declare independence. And I think if you look back at that time, there's so much to learn from our 250 years that we can take today.
Yeah, and you know, Bret, you talk about the resilience thing, and I wonder if we can expect maybe some of that in the president's speech. Earlier in this show, I was telling Rachel and Charlie, you know, this is a day when I started to reflect on the old Johnny Cash song, Ragged Old Flag. And it was a song written during the Watergate era, which was quite divided as well, much like we are today in this country. He says, he's talking about Old Glory, he says, she's threadbare and growing thin, but she's in good shape for the shape she's in, because she's been through the fire and she can take a whole lot more. It's a real resilience and sort of boundless optimism approach.
Yeah, I wish, Griff, that you could have sung that for me. But I agree with you. And, you know, Gerald Ford was the president 50 years ago at 1976, and the last time we celebrated this big event. And I think, you know, he had similar remarks about our resilience, about going through tough times, about bringing the country together. You know, hopefully that message is getting through. It is a divided time, but it is something, as I talk to these people in line, they're not thinking about all that politics. Yeah. They remind me of the World Cup European visitors who are so in love with, you know, the American experience, not just the place and the food and all the stuff, but the people who are showing them gratitude and welcome. And that's, I think, the important thing as we celebrate July 4th.
It's such a great point, Bret. You know, the spectacle that we're seeing here with the military hardware, the concert and the president's speech, and as great as everything has been there in Washington, D.C., Bret, I think you would agree with me that the most important thing happening today is probably in people's backyards. Totally. As they gather their family and they have a barbecue and maybe they invite their neighbors over too. A lot of people having block parties in their neighborhoods. That's really the America I think about from when I was a kid. And I think that's what we all hope for the future. The smaller Washington gets, the bigger our lives are for our own families, our own backyards, right?
Yeah, everybody has something they're dealing with. And when you're in the backyard with a bunch of your neighbors talking about things and having hot dogs and steaks, that's just a good moment. And for our kids, our next generation, they have to remember that too. But this day on 250, the fact that we made it to 250 is pretty good.
Yeah. You know, you've obviously done your part in terms of all of the wonderful history books that you have written. I know that Mount Vernon is a very special place to you. And the living history that is there. How important is it for people to go to places like Monticello and Mount Vernon and Gunston Hall to relive those moments where our founders who gave us everything that we have today, where they lived and where they made these historic decisions?
Charlie, I think it's crucial. It just brings you back to the decisions, to the time. Mount Vernon has had a total redo under Doug Bradburn, the CEO there, and I got a tour of all the new stuff. Go out there. The documents are there, the actual documents, the letters that George Washington signs when he's frustrated that he thinks that England is becoming too overbearing. It's the beginning of the Declaration of Independence, and then there's a copy of the Declaration of Independence and all the history. Mount Vernon is great, just up the road, but all of these places, just to go visit, the National Archives it's a total treasure. And if you take your kids there, I promise you'll learn something.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you'll learn something every time you go. Bret Baier, always great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bret.
Happy Fourth.
All right.
Thanks, Bret.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.